Alexis here, coming to you with an awesome sale of 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com. I provide services like digital art, logo designs, packaging designs, web designs, social media flyers, and much more. If you're an entrepreneur with a business or a startup company, make sure you take advantage of this opportunity, getting 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I need some music. Like, I need some background music. I wish I had some background music. Yeah, hold on. They got like these new plugins now. Hold on, what's this? No, that ain't gonna work. That's just too much. That's just too much. Hold on. No. Nah. Does that roll? Does that rock? I kind of like that. It's just kind of loud. Oh, here we go. I can turn it down right here. Here we go. Y'all like that? Sac passe. Boombole. Boombole. Bombole. Sac passe. Y'all like that background music? Hold on, let's try to find another one. All right, we're just gonna leave the music off. Not boule. There we go. Not boule. There we go. Something boule. Lynn, I need you to call in. Lynn, listen. Okay, before we start the show. Okay, well, we kind of already started the show. Lynn, listen. I want you to call in, Lynn. Lynn, I want you. No. I want her to call in because she always in the comments. Lynn, call in and cam up. Links in the chat room. Call in and cam up, Lynn. I would love to see your face because you are always in the chat room. Always in the chat room. Always in the chat room. He doesn't look like us. Okay, whatever that means. Lynn, click the link and call in. All right, but listen, we have a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Sierra Leone in a little over a month. Well, more than a little over a month. We leave on the 22nd. So we'll say about give or take 40 days, 45 days, 40 days, 45 days. So if you'll like, yeah, exactly. How is Black America supposed to look like? Exactly. Yeah, okay. So we are rolling to Sierra Leone shortly, in about 45 days, roughly. November 21st to December 3rd. November 21st to December 3rd. Love to have you guys. Love for you to join us. Citizenship is available to those who qualify. Again, citizenship is available to those to qualify, for those who qualify. Yeah, we got trolls. That's okay. Let the trolls stay in. Let the trolls stay in. Citizenship is available to those who qualify. So go to donfo.africa to learn more, even if you're not eligible for citizenship. And if you will still like to join us, again, please visit donfo.africa. We will love to have you all. In today's episode of You Get What You Vote For, in today's episode of You Get What You Vote For, you have residents of Chicago who are suing the city. Chicago lawsuit filed against Chicago over city housing, migrants, and public housing. But this is what you guys voted for. President Biden said his top priorities are going to be we're going to be the alphabet crew and immigration. Casanova, what's going on, bro?
What's up, Dynast? How you doing, bro?
That's why, Cashin, you in Chicago.
I'm in Chicago, brother.
All right, so what's really going on the ground? What's going on?
What's going on is these Negroes out here got buyer's remorse. That's what's going on. these Negroes, how you gonna vote for Joe Biden? How you gonna vote for Joe Biden and then get to complaining? Brandon Johnson, this is your fault. Like, no, it's not. Okay, Brandon Johnson has some fault. Don't get me wrong. But before Brandon Johnson, who was it? Lori Lightfoot. These are all Democrats. They're all a part of the Democratic Party. So you go to the head. Don't attack a leaf. Go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is Joe Biden. But these people, they don't want to admit the fault. They don't want to admit that they made a mistake in voting for Joe Biden in record numbers. So now all they doing is doing what a child does and just throwing a tantrum. People yelling and stuff. Oh, we suing Chicago. That's a big nothing burger, bro.
So yeah, but what else is going on the ground in Chicago in regards to this immigration situation? Because these folks have been upset for like months now, and I keep saying is what you voted for. This is what you voted for.
Yep. So, man, everywhere I go, every grocery store I go into, there is at least 10. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Okay, give me a kiss. All right. Yeah, there's at least 10. Migrants, what they call them. They're calling them migrants. Migrant. I don't consider them migrants. I consider them illegal aliens that illegally entered the country, and because of that, they have been bussed up here into the Democratic stronghold cities. There's at least 10 of them out there begging for money. Oh, right. hey, $2, speak no English. Venezuela, $2, please. I don't have an issue with people. I actually feel bad for those people that they're hungry, and the winter months are coming. It's gonna get super cold. They're gonna start dropping dead, bro. Like, they're sleeping in tents outside of the police station. There are literally 20 to 30 tents outside each police station that you go past in Chicago. It's just really ridiculous. They have started
now,
to
aren't they allowed to sleep? Aren't they sleeping inside the police stations?
They were. However, They got put out because there was a lot of allegations that there was some sexual predation going on with the police. They were having sex with a lot of the migrants and stuff like that for money or whatever. And I think that is kind of what escalated the city or the police precincts to say, okay, you guys can't stay in here, but you can stay outside in tents and things like that, just to assure their safety. Because again, this is a big city, and I'm pretty sure they've heard about the violence that goes on, and stray bullets don't have any names, bro. So they want to be close to the police scene so they can be, safe, and they want to be close to a grocery store so they can get some food.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna play some of these. I'm gonna play part of this press conference, and we're gonna listen in. I'm gonna give my feedback. Guys, hit the like button again, please. Hit the like button. Let's see here.
It is disingenuous. So I just want to be clear first. To be clear, we are not upset with the individuals who are being allowed to cross the borders into America. Let me make that very clear because people get it confused. We are, however, outraged with the government's response and our elected officials' blatant disregard to the local crisis.
But Casher, this is what they voted for.
Exactly, bro. Like,
this is what you voted for.
Now they complaining, bro.
Now you complaining.
I'm laughing. You got people like Mama Duck, and I don't mean to, try to slander anybody in the comment.
Are you talking about FBG Duck's mom?
FBG Duck Mama, she literally voted for Joe Biden and Lori Lightfoot. Now she walking around the city with a Lori Lightfoot cross, like with her face on the hoodie with it crossed out. Like, what are you doing? It's just pure hypocrisy, bro. It's like you can see the elementary thinking. I ain't even gonna assault elementary kids like that. You can see the thinking of these individuals. They're just not. They're not mature at all. They don't have any political maturity.
All right, let's listen back in.
Black families and children are facing now in our city. It is disingenuous.
Hold on, now they're concerned about Black families and children.
They ain't concerned with Pookie shooting that block up though.
Yeah, now they're concerned with Black families and children.
Now y'all concerned about extracurricular activities that's going on at the school.
Yeah, but I remember when Ice Cube said, "Hey, let's see what we get for Black folks." Black folks was mad at him.
Exactly. Vivica A. Fox is one of the biggest ones too.
All right, let's continue.
Genuine and highly disrespectful to come into neighborhoods that have suffered decades of disinvestment, redlining, poverty, and violence to tell them you're taking resources away only to give it to another group of people that you allowed to cross the border illegally. How dare you put these poor people against us, especially because the very reason you claim they're here to seek asylum is the same reason and terror and injustice Black people face today.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Do you see the individual that's giving the speech, bro? Can you tell me if she's married or not, bro?
Oh my God.
Like
Oh my God.
they got the most unqualified people speaking on these topics too. They're just yelling in microphones, a bunch of
same struggle. It's the same struggle.
just emotional talk, bro. Just emotionalism.
Oh my God.
I don't get it. I don't get my people sometimes.
This is who they voted for.
Yep.
And you know what's interesting too? So today, Joe Biden approved for them to finish the wall. Border.
Yeah, bro. It's just
So Joe Biden approved to finish Donald Trump's wall that y'all was laughing at and said it was racist. Joe Biden just approved to finish
it. Don't forget Obama was the first people putting people in cages too.
I mean, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. But you know who they're still gonna vote for next year.
You already know who they voting for.
Yeah, but what happened to we gonna hold them accountable? The Black community gonna hold our elected representatives accountable. See, because we can, because we put them in, we gonna hold them. That's what I was told. I was told that they was gonna hold them accountable.
Man, I was told something completely different. I was told vote blue no matter who. Man, Chicago's doomed, bro. It's a great city. It's amazing. I love this city. It's the best. I believe it's the best city in the country. However, the politics is so much corruption here in Chicago, and so much political immaturity in the Black people here. We can really make a difference here. If we get it together here, I feel like everybody will follow behind us. To that person who said I'm from Peoria, bro, I ain't never been to Peoria a day in my life. I live in Chicago. Yeah, I was raised in the burbs. I was born here, and my family is from here. My spirit is in Chicago. I don't know what you're talking about, Sankofa.
Yeah, this is crazy. All right, let's continue.
Chicago is working on an issue without addressing the current issue that it has with the communities that are suffering. And we're seeing resources fly out to help but we're not getting that same type of support at the magnitude we're seeing now. And to expect us to foot the bill and hand over our already limited resources, public parks and school buildings that have been unjustly closed in the first place. Now you're putting a strain on our police officers and stations, obstructing their ability to do their jobs, serve our community, and our community to go into police.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I thought we was defund the police.
Well,
I thought we was defund the police.
oh God.
Bro, I thought so. Why is she injecting the police into this? I thought it was defund the police.
She know damn well black people don't give no shit about the police, bro.
So listen. So she complains about the black struggle, right? And then she spins right into what about the police officers? Because every time I hear about the black struggle, I hear about the racist police officers.
Yep. Laquan McDonald, you know, you ask people about, oh,
Yeah,
police
Laquan
good.
McDonald. Yeah,
Laquan, they're gonna keep bringing up Laquan McDonald. That's all. That's all. She's not really concerned about the police. She just feels it'll be politically correct to bring the police into this equation. Of course, yeah, they are staying at the police stations, but I don't think they mind. They just coming to work, bro. They ain't got to take them home with them. Like they're not living in the police's neighborhoods because the police don't live amongst, you know, amongst black people. Police live in nice neighborhoods, bro. Like, so she's just doing that just to evoke any whatever emotion or to seem politically correct.
Come on, I know somebody said Chicago folks never said defund the police. I know damn well Lori Lightfoot was on that defund the police wagon.
You said Lori Lightfoot was on that too?
I swore she was.
Yeah, bro. I just never. When she got in office, it's just like I couldn't get into Uncle Mammy, bro. Like, I mean, Brandon.
Hold on, what'd you call her?
Uncle Mammy. She looked like she spent the taxpayers' dollars at the Men's Warehouse, bro. She came to my job one time. I swear to God, I did not know that was her, bro. I'm like, damn, who's that man who just walked past us? He had a lot of little security and stuff around him. They said that was the mayor, Lori Lightfoot. I'm like, no, that was her.
No, let's continue.
These stations to receive services. In addition, it's inhumane to welcome people only to have them sleeping on floors in buildings and in tents that cannot withstand the wind of Chicago. Brandon Johnson ran on the promise that he would listen to our community. And in the beginning of this crisis stated that he would not re-traumatize those communities that are still suffering from the impact of school closing, red line, and violence.
Oh man, I don't want to hear anymore.
They always bringing up red line and tweet like, so what? So what? They don't want your black butt in their neighborhoods, bro. Go fix yours up. Go clean the trash up.
Listen, Chicago is an immigrant. I mean, a sanctuary city. Hard stop. There's nothing else to talk about. Chicago is a sanctuary city. There's nothing else to talk about.
And this isn't gonna do anything either. They're just wasting their time. Now, instead of trying to turn this into something positive for ourselves and our community, like maybe we can get some things that we could sell these people. Maybe we could, like tap whatever little money that they got, brother, to benefit us and also help them out. But people ain't thinking like that, bro. Like people just want to throw a fit because they see other people coming in their neighborhood. And I get that these could be criminals as well because not everybody was vetted coming here. Most of the people that I've interacted with, most of these migrants, they seem to be from Venezuela. And I'm like, how the hell do you get all the way here from Venezuela? Like, how did you get up to Mexico?
That's a good question. So these folks are walking all the way from Venezuela to Chicago.
That's what I'm because I know there's no road that goes from Venezuela to Mexico. So I'm like, did you walk there or take a boat? How did you get to Mexico in order to cross the border? just don't understand. But a lot of them don't speak English and they just know a couple of words. Hey, no, I me hungry.
Good. I know what. Good for them. Good for them. Good for them. I hope illegal immigrants flood every sanctuary city. I am for it. I am in full support. And no offense to you, I know you're in Chicago, but hey, you're in a sanctuary city. These folks knew what they was voting for. I hope they keep getting bussed up to Chicago, New York, LA, wherever the sanctuary cities are. I am in Seattle, Portland. I am in full support of them coming to sanctuary cities, setting them shop, getting 3 hots in a cot. New York to stay at the Roosevelt Hotel. I am in full support of it.
Yep, as long as Negroes will
full support of it. Full support.
As long as Negroes remain politically ignorant, this is what you're gonna sow. This is what you reap. You reap what you sow. So I don't have a problem with them. They ain't gonna bother me and my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only people that's complaining is the people who gonna have to compete with these people. I'm not competing with them. They not on. I ain't trying to sound cocky or nothing, but they just not on my level, bro. So, I actually feel bad for the people because at the end of the day, they people, bro. Like, I don't like for anybody to be hungry.
No. Somebody said, I agree with you, Dynast, but this is deadly for Black Americans. Hold on, let me show you something. Hold on, let me show you Black America in last year and 2020 election, these past elections. Hold on. Let me show you Black America. Hold on. This was Black America. Hold on. Here we go. This was Black America. Oh, let me pull this up.
It feels more personal, people, rather than just this online portal that goes to nowhere.
Here's to the moments between where you are and where you're going, to setting off into.
Well, there's always some friendly competition between sororities, but something and someone have pulled members of the historically Black sororities together for an online campaign that's now gone viral. It's the election and vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris, who's a member of one of those organizations. Jennifer Bellamy joins us now with a look at how Atlanta is playing a really big role in all of this political action.
Yeah, Yisha, for those who are not familiar with Black Greek organizations, when you join, whether it's in college or sometime after, it's a lifetime commitment, and the work and service don't stop after graduation. That's why one woman came up with an idea to get people moving, to get people politically active, and to bring people together.
I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States of America.
It started with a moment, the selection of California Senator Kamala Harris as a Democratic vice presidential nominee. Harris spoke of her biological family, but also of her chosen family, her sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha, or AKA, and other historically Black Greek organizations known as the Divine Nine.
Family is my beloved Alpha Kappa Alpha, our Divine Nine, and my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Maisha Land, another member of AKA, wanted to build on that historic moment with the tradition of strolling. So what is that exactly? Members of a Divine Nine organization form a line and move forward using the same dance or motions, hence stroll to the polls.
It was only supposed to be 4 of us, right? 4 or 5 of us. It grew into over 20 women because people were just so excited to participate.
Land owns a Gems of Georgia dance studio in Southwest Atlanta and united her own sorority sisters along with members of Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, and Sigma Gamma Rho in what has become a viral series of images and videos online. People across the country, including a viral series of images.
We were strolling to the polls. Hold on. I'm not done yet. This is what Black folks were doing. Strolling to the polls. Here's another one. To vote for these policies. Strolling to the polls to vote for these policies that you guys are now complaining about and suing over, that you supported. Hold on, here's another one. Here's another one.
Get your booty to the pole, 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 yeah.
Did we get your attention? Good.
So, you really not gonna vote? You know it's more than just the president on the ballot, right? Check it.
A district attorney decides who to prosecute,
Including whether or not to go after dirty cops.
Do you know who elects the DA? We do, but you don't want to vote.
Can't make it rain if you locked up on some bullshit.
Want trades and coding taught in our schools? Then vote for the school boards that will prepare us for the job market. Want to end cash bail?
Well, then vote for the sheriffs and county officials that feel the same way you do.
But you talking about, oh, they gonna pick who they gonna pick, shawty.
Ferguson just elected their first black mayor.
You know how that happened?
It's clear Black lives don't matter to some of our current elected officials. If they matter to you, then don't let other people decide who's gonna run your community. Get your booty to the poll. Get your booty to the poll.
Get your booty to the poll.
Get your vote.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. I got one more.
Vote or die. Vote or die.
I got one more. We're not done yet. We aren't done yet. Hold on. I got one more. This is what black folks were doing. This is what we're doing. Well, it's gonna hurt black folks, Dynast. I agree with you, but it's gonna hurt black folks. This is what we were doing.
Yeah. Trade checks. I think we got one.
It's voting season, bruh.
Now voting, no loving. Now voting, no touching. Now voting, no nothing. Now voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. Now voting, no loving. Now voting, no touching. Now voting, no nothing. Now voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action. Why the homie stop what's happening? Face is a 9, abs a 10, D is a to be determined. He got mad jokes, he don't seem broke. The only red flag is that he don't vote. This midterms for all the single cute. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking, no voting.
So I am in full support. I support 150,000 million % of these immigrants being dumped in sanctuary cities in predominantly black neighborhoods. I am in full support of it. I want to see it done. I have no issue with it. I'm not complaining about it because this is what black folks voted for. I am in full support.
To this day, bro, I constantly remind Mama Duck that she vote blue no matter who, and you know she want to complain about things. I think people starting to come around now. I hear a lot of black people in the hood talking about they Trump supporters. I know you saw Chief Keef come out and say he was a Trump supporter and stuff like that.
Listen, Chief Keef said it. Shotty Red. What's the ratchet girl? What's her name?
Sexy Red.
Sexy Red said it. But listen, I am in full support. Every sanctuary city, black community, the illegal immigrants, them being placed there. I am in full support of it. And they were trying to do that shit here in Atlanta. They were trying to do that shit here in Atlanta too. That sanctuary city stuff. Thank God it got shut down. But it got brought up.
Yep, man. It's crazy, bro. And it's funny because Brandon Johnson, he's kind of in a tight spot. He really don't want it, but he has no other choice because he's a part of the Democratic Party.
Hey guys, links in the chat room. Again, link is in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. Again, link is in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. Please click on the link. Again, please click on the link. Why shouldn't I be happy for it when this is what the black community voted for? Joe Biden, a man of his word, said the LGBTQ community and immigration were his top two priorities. That's what he said. And then that's what Black people went out and voted for. Am I right or wrong? But links in the chat room. You want to click on the link and call in? You're more than welcome to click on the link and call in.
He also told us that we're gonna have to we're gonna have to start doing business and you know, politicking with the Hispanics. So
let me pull up that video. But go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, just the bottom line is this, right? You know, I like I said, I advanced the notion, right? If Black people are going to survive worldwide, globally, right? And this is going to be hard and controversial to say, right? We cannot put the future in the hands of the vote. You know, it's too dangerous. Now, really, everywhere you look around the world, the most terrifying thing is seeing the Black people putting their black hands out there, casting a ballot a vote, because it's like almost like a death sentence, right? I wouldn't live in Chicago. I call it Chicago, for if you paid me. I wouldn't live in Atlanta. I wouldn't live in these places, right? Where I live at, right, we got a large Black middle class and everything like that. It balances out. The next city in Norfolk, Portsmouth, everything with mostly Black administration, all fucking hell's breaking loose, right? Because the thing is, to get elected in the Black America, the dumber you talk. Did you see that? I want you to play the video with Amanda Seals, Dynas. Find the video of Amanda Seals. What she said recently.
You got a bunch of just babbling videos.
Well, she said that police, right? Police. I don't know else I would get sick and tired of, right? If you think that you're going to live in a world without police, law and order, you're not civilized. If you're not civilized, right? If you don't believe in civilization, law and order, the rule of law, and stuff like that, you have no business talking to Black people about politics, anything like that. Because what I'm seeing right now is, in my generation, Generation X, right now, we're devolving into a sense of savagery. You see now with the rest of Tupac murder, you see the conversations going on, people bringing up things that happened 30 years ago and making podcasts on them, getting millions of views and likes and everything. Yeah, this crew was doing this in the 90s. Well, you were in your 20s and your 90s. You a knucklehead. Why are you guys as grown men in your 50s sitting around revisiting stuff that's in the 90s and everything? You see how, look and see how culture is going down the street. Why are these people are even talked to on a level, and we get the political advice from? Do we really care what Keith have to say? Do we really care what Sexy Red have to say? Do we really care what Cardi B have to say? This is what I'm talking about. Black America has gone. It's so far gone, right? That the most dangerous place to be is in the company of other Black people. You know, because we have people that just doesn't want to stand up for what's good and what's right. Good and what's right is what seen as the white man. Law and order is seen as the white man. Ethics is seen as the white man. You know, we haven't taken ownership of all these things that made civilization possible for thousands of years. And that's why when you look around the world, they have great cities and great industries and everything like that. And the Black man has absolutely nothing. You know, so I want to talk with that.
All right, go ahead, Sam, man.
Yeah, this whole situation is a little bit confusing to me because last I heard that that mayor in New York City was complaining about he was claiming that due to all of the immigrants or migrants that were coming into New York City, they had to cut the budget for some of their programs, like a lot of the state workers, like the police officers and other state guys, they wouldn't be able to put in for overtime, that because those funds were allocated through the state programs. You know what I'm saying? So the police officers, they get paid overtime through the state. So it seemed like them losing funds, having to allocate those funds for the migrants, would fall right in line with some of the political policies that they wanted to implement. So they said that they wanted to defund the police, right? So if you, by defunding the police, you're not paying them overtime because you're allocating those funds that will be going to the police department to funding the migrant crisis that they were having in the city. So I assume that's something similar that's going on in Chicago, and then you get the uptick in crime. So I believe those two things coincide. So I guess the Democrats, these Democrat-led cities, they're going to have to make a choice. They're going to have to decide what's more important, if they're going to control the influx of crime by more policing, or they're going to allocate those funds that didn't go to the police department to help, the crime issues in another fashion. So if you can help the crime issue through controlling the police, then you have to allocate more funds to, the schooling process, and the after school programs for the disadvantaged youth in those inner cities. So yeah, it's like it's like the migrant crisis helped their policies somewhat, and then it hurt it at the same time. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just putting a link in the chat room for people who want to call in and add to the convo.
Yeah, so it's like
Hold on. See, this is the problem. I don't like the laugh out loud in the title of this video. Nothing is funny about what blacks in Chicago are experiencing right now. Dude, this is what you guys voted for. What do you mean? This is what you voted for.
No, it's actually really, really comical. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
And Cash is in Chicago.
Yes, sir. Born here. Yeah, I don't know what this talk. I actually laughed at Mama Duck to the point she had to block me on Instagram, bro. Because it's like you sitting here complaining about the lady who, when your son got killed, she disrespected your son in his, on his death date.
How did she disrespect him?
She was like, well, Carlton fancied himself as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Basically trying to smear him with innuendos. However, she on the other.
But let me ask you this: How was she smearing him when
because
he was a glorified goon? Like, I mean,
because she was clicked up with Lil Durk, bro. She took pictures and had all kind of meetings with Lil Durk. So how can you say that about FBG Duck when you in cahoots with Lil Durk?
Lil Durk's crew is the one that.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna say that.
Okay, let me stop. I don't want to get involved with that. Yeah. Let me stop. But they're from the same projects, right? Am I correct?
Well, Lil Durk is actually from Inglewood. That's where I'm from.
But what about King Von? He's from those projects, is he or no?
No, King Von. He from Old Block. That's Woodlawn.
But the people who killed.
It was Old Block. Yeah,
I thought Old Block, right?
Yep. It was Old Block. King Von put the money up. He put the hit up.
I thought King Von was already dead when that happened.
No. Duck died August 4th, 2020.
No, King Von died before Duck.
No. King Von died November 2020. Duck died August 2020. I remember I was on my way to work. Mom tell me.
Nah, I don't know, man. You might be right, but I kind of feel like I'm right. King Von.
Yeah, I think he died like November 6th.
Okay, right. So King Von died November 6th, 2020, and then FBG Duck.
August 4th, 2020. Yeah, August 4th.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, I'm wrong. I stand corrected.
August 4th.
I stand corrected. You're right. You're right.
But Von put the money up. It's $100K.
Hold on. We know what. Not on this platform.
All right.
Listen, Chicago street politics. Somewhere like yeah. I don't want Chicago.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny how she just doing all of this complaining and slandering about Lori Lightfoot and lady you voted for. And anytime I remind her, Muggs will say something incoherent and get up out of there. It's like it's either fight or run at that point. And most of the time they just run. Mm-hmm. They don't want to stand on it. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'm gonna be a little bit more politically correct next time. I'll pay more attention. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to be corrected. How do you expect us to move if you're gonna keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I just don't get it.
So if the Republican Party gets the black vote, what will they do to help the black people in these black cities?
Well, Donald Trump actually offered a platinum plan. Nobody wanted the platinum plan that Donald Trump was offering. So, and not just Donald Trump, it seems that most of the policies that have benefited Black America have actually come from Republicans and not the Democrats.
And what policies are you talking about that benefit black people?
Who signed the Civil Rights Act
immigration? One of them.
Who signed the Civil Rights Act into law? It was a Republican.
Yeah, but that we talk about recently.
Okay, so recently, Donald Trump offered the platinum plan and Negroes didn't want it, bro. That was just a couple years ago.
So the platinum plan was basically he was going to give how much to the black people? How many?
What was it, Dynas?
But outside of that, you see the issue right now with immigration.
Oh, right. Yeah, the immigration. See, that was a mistake. I believe that I think that we didn't realize how desperate the situation in the in Mexico and South American countries were, where they were going to flood, you know what I mean, our borders at these extreme rates. I think that was a mistake, and maybe people didn't realize how desperate the situation was.
Sandman. Donald Trump warned everybody about this. He was calling them a racist, white supremacist, all this stuff. Now, Joe Biden is completing the wall.
Right, yeah. Joe Biden is completing the wall, and I think maybe that might be a concession by the Democratic Party that it might have been a mistake to allow so many.
But how many mistakes are we gonna make?
What's that? You said how many mistakes they're gonna make?
Yeah, how many mistakes are we gonna make as a people? Like, I'm not buying that excuse. It was a mistake. Oh, we didn't know, and because
yeah, I mean,
literally
that's how you learn. You learn by making
no, but
mistakes,
I literally
right?
had to fight Negroes, bro, and let them know that immigration was not benefiting us. It was, and this is back in 2018.
Okay, so what does benefit us? I think
that $500 million platinum plan, we could have did something with that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, what exactly are the benefits of the platinum plan, and how does, because anytime that you get something, you got to give up a little bit, right?
$500 million to anybody who can come up with a feasible business plan. Somebody who, you know, like who had an idea, or they just didn't have the funding for the business. We could have opened up so many businesses with that. We could have parlayed that into so many programs for our kids, bro. 500 million, that's almost $1 trillion. Or is it 500 million or 500 billion?
Okay, so that 500 billion, that was specifically for black people only? That only black people were allowed to use it?
He said for black. He was talking to Ice Cube, bro.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know constitutionally you were allowed to do that. You were allowed to make a policy specifically for one race of people. So you're saying that $500 billion was specifically for black people and black people only?
Yes, it was for black people. He offered it for black people and black people only.
Okay, and how could they prove that
nothing in the Constitution says that you can't do something for one race?
Okay, yeah, because even the Civil Rights Act, it doesn't specifically say it's for black people. It says it's for, you can't discriminate against people based on race. It doesn't specifically say it's for black people.
Well, you know that fix came in at the end when they changed it. They changed the literature and said minorities, and they included white women. Most minorities are white women.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it'd be interesting to see if something like a platinum plan could even pass, you know, the Supreme Court as being something legal if it's specifically for one race of people. Because then, you know, the next thing come up is, okay, how you going to allocate? Because it's going to be the same issue if they were to ever to pass reparations, because they'll say that it's not, you know, legal or it's against the Constitution to give something specifically for one race. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I would say that the platinum plan was more realistic and more feasible than reparations. We're not getting reparations. Negroes just need to stop talking about that, bro. We're not getting it. White folks will never give you that. Why would they? It doesn't make any sense. So they would
yeah.
give us something that would be like here's a Kickstarter. There's something that y'all can work with. And we could have worked with that and improved our situation a lot more than what we is. But it seems like we're going the opposite way.
Yeah,
Let's
because it
pass,
just seems
hold on,
like
hold on. Let's pass it up. Go ahead, Varney. Varney. I'm just trolling, I guess. All right, go ahead, Mr. Sandman.
yeah, I was just saying because it seems like you always have to give up a little bit to get something. So if they give you the 500 billion in the platinum plan, then the next thing they'll do is they'll just take 500 billion from the money that they give us in, welfare. You know what I mean? They
That's
have
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That's okay.
That's okay. That's fine.
That's why
yeah.
we would have the 500 million so we could set up community programs for our people and we can set up opportunities for our people. Welfare does not help us, bro. Welfare actually hurts us.
Yeah. But there's going to be a fallout from the loss of welfare because anytime that the government has a history of cutting welfare,
starving with welfare right now. They mama sell a link card, bro.
yeah.
Like, no, welfare's that's not something we need to be. Oh well, we can't vote because we'll lose our welfare. That's not something we need to hang our coat on.
I mean, historically, whenever the government has cut welfare, we have seen an uptick in violence in Black communities. So
Bro,
I'm not
welfare
saying that.
started in the 60s, bro. What do you mean
Yeah.
historically? It ain't been too long. We've been receiving welfare. Now I don't think we'll get it any longer. It's coming to an
Right.
end.
Yeah, eventually it is going to come to an end.
Yeah, man. So that platinum plan, and man, that could have helped us, bro. We could have built a little enclave or something, little black enclave. We could start up another Black Wall Street. Man, niggas, Donald Trump racist. I can't vote for him. He racist. Like,
I mean, we can start another Black Wall Street right now with the wealthy Black people that we have already. It's just that the wealthy Black people that we have, like a Jay-Z or the guy, that be making movies in Atlanta, Medea, do with the few $1 billion that they have, and that other guy, the other rich billionaires, Black billionaires, we could start a Black Wall Street now. It's just that they're not interested in investing in anything like that because I guess they don't believe in us. You know what I'm saying?
Go multi-generational. I guess mulatto. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, and just to be brief, thanks for having me up. Donis, I got love for you, but I got to be honest. The title of the video with the LOL, it is a little disrespectful because
How is it disrespectful? This is what they voted for.
But
listen,
let me tell you,
I'm sorry for interrupting this, rude, but just I'm a passionate man, and just give me a second. I told Black folks in 2020 what was coming. Like, I don't care if you disagree. I understand. Okay, you disagree with Trump. You don't like his attitude. You hate that he what he does on Twitter. But I predicted that this was gonna happen, and Black folks was being goofy, playing around, taking their booties to the poll, no voting, no fucking, defending that BS, strolling to the polls. This is what they voted for. Trump. Biden said himself, all right, LGBTQ, IAG, BBC, whatever you want to call it, TWX, whatever you call it, and immigration were his top two concerns. That's what he said. And
I know that part, yeah.
And Black folks were still going out, bragging about how they saved the Democratic Party, bragging about how they go hold Biden accountable. It's just like it's.
But please let me say this, and it'll be brief. And I have to say this: the reason that is disrespectful is because it's African American children's communities that are being eradicated as a result of the.
It's the damn adults who voted for.
Exactly. So that's why it's not funny. I agree with you, but that's why it's not funny.
No, but it's the adults, dumbasses who voted for this.
No, I agree with you.
Can I say something really quickly?
All right.
It's not funny. It's not funny, haha, but it's funny, ironic. Okay, in that we've spent the better part of 50 years voting in a pattern that gets us to this point with nothing. So I don't think anybody's saying ha 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 that this is really funny. I think it's, sometimes you laugh to keep from crying. It's funny,
Yes.
ironic.
No, I'm laughing because this is comical, bro. I'm
Yeah, it's not.
laughing in your
But that's
face.
my point, though. It's not comical while your own community is being
Yes, it
eradicated,
is.
brother.
Mr.
All right. Well, you
Mulatto,
have
you're
no
not
sense of
even black, bro.
self-preservation, brother.
Mr.
That means you
Mulatto,
have no
you're
sense
not
of
even black.
self-preservation. That means
I don't think
That means
it's.
you have no sense of self-preservation, brother. Really,
I
you
have
laughing at
every
your own
sense of
community.
self-preservation
So
because
let's
I
have some
know that the
decorum, brother.
platinum
Can we
plan
have some
Trump was
decorum?
offering. I know the platinum plan
All right.
Trump was offering. We could have parlayed that into something. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. Oh,
All right. So,
well, this
but it's
isn't
not
funny.
funny, white. But brother, back to the focal point. It's disrespectful to the future generations of your own family to be laughing at African American communities being eradicated, brother. What do you think your
What
grandkids
do you
say when
mean
they hear you
eradicate?
talk?
Can
I
you
think the point,
please
but I think the
elaborate
greater
what you mean eradicated? What
destroyed,
community?
brother. Destroyed, brother. The
Okay,
African American
what
community
black
in
community?
Chicago is
We
shrinking
were
as we
doing that.
speak.
Black people were destroying our
So it's
own
not funny.
communities. What are you
Exactly. So it's
talking
not
about?
fun. So it's not a laughing matter. It's not hilarious, brother.
It's
You laughing. It's
hilarious
not
that
funny.
you keep, you know what's hilarious? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That means you crazy as hell. And
And I'm
as
glad you
long as
said
you
that. That's why
crazy
they
as hell,
standing
I'm
up
gonna
against
laugh
it.
in your
You see, they
face.
standing up against the Democrats right now. That means they're not doing the same thing over and over. They standing up against Democrats right now in your city. Why you
How
laughing
are
at
they
them?
standing up?
You
You're supposed
cooning
to
right now,
stand up
brother.
when it's time.
They suing.
When
They
it's
suing
time to go
Chicago right
vote.
now, brother.
When it's
You
time to
cooning,
go
brother.
vote, that's when you're supposed to stand up.
Brother, exactly. So we'll see in the next cycle how they gonna vote. But right now they standing
Watch
up
them
against the
niggas
Democrats
vote
right now.
blue no matter who.
But I'm talking about right now. They're standing up against the blue. Checkmate. They're standing up against the blue while you're laughing at them online, brother.
Bro,
You
you're
need to
not
get out in
even
the streets with
black.
your people. Why you don't get
You're
out in the
not
streets
even
with your
black.
people? All right, I'm a mulatto. What's your
Hold
point,
on.
brother?
Hold on. Let me, Alan. I want to play this video, guys. Let's mute ourselves. Alan,
Yeah, I
go ahead.
cooked him. Yeah, let's move forward. I cooked him. Yeah, we
Oh
can move
man, come
forward.
on, man. Let's
He
move forward.
said,
Hey,
cook.
gosh, you ain't got to get the last word, bro. You ain't got to get the last word. Let me play this video, Alan, and give me your thoughts, Alan. Hold on. And Alan, remember when Trump was doing the same thing, he was called a racist white supremacist. But hold on, let me play this video.
Is giving the go-ahead for a new border wall in South Texas. The president had to waive 26 federal laws to okay the wall. This despite promising not to build another foot of the wall if elected. Senior White House correspondent Selena Wang and ABC News political director Rick Klein join me now for more on this. Selena, this is a stark reversal for the Biden administration. What's the White House saying about that?
It is, Diana. Now the Department of Homeland Security is saying that there is an urgent and critical need to build physical barriers to deal with this influx and rise in illegal border crossings. The president, the Biden administration, is allowing for this new construction of a section in southern Texas. This is a very high traffic area. But as you say, this is a very stark reversal. Biden had been staunchly opposed to Trump's border policies. And in 2020, he said he would not build another foot of the wall if he was elected. But the fact that this major reversal is taking place, it just goes to show how difficult the migrant crisis, border security has become as his administration struggles to deal with it, becoming a central topic, not just on Capitol Hill, but also leading up into the 2024 presidential election. An important note here, though, is that the money being used for this, it was already approved by Congress back in 2019, specifically for border wall construction. This also, meanwhile, happening while Biden is facing pressure from all sides, Democrats from places like New York and Illinois criticizing Biden for not doing more to deal with this migrant crisis. Diane.
Selena, the move's being criticized by environmental advocates and by other Democrats. What are some of their key arguments?
Well, Diane, many Democrats have argued that a border wall is both ineffective and needless. They say there are better uses for taxpayer money, whether that's investing in better border technology, more personnel at the border, and really addressing the root cause of migration. In fact, just this morning, we have heard from Congressman Henry Cuellar. He's a Democratic representative from Texas, and he had these strong words to say, quote, "A border wall is a 14th century solution to a 21st century problem. It will not bolster border security in Stark County. I continue to stand against the wasteful spending of taxpayer dollars on an ineffective border wall." But Diane, to put things into context, This plan under the Biden administration, it would add up to 20 miles of border wall. In comparison, under the Trump administration, around 450 miles of barriers were built. And as you say, not just criticism from Democrats, but also from environmental advocates. They say this wall would cut right through the heart of habitats for endangered plants and species. But this major reversal, again, just showing how much pressure Biden is under here.
Now, Rick, Biden had criticized Trump's border policy and promised in 2020 to not build another foot of the wall if he was elected. So now Trump is criticizing Biden for this delayed border wall construction. What does this do for Biden politically?
Well, Trump is asking for an apology. I don't think he's going to get that from President Biden. But I think the stark political consequences is real. On the one hand, yeah, this is definitely a reversal, a flip-flop. It's a change from a campaign pledge, but it is one that the Biden administration feels is driven by the facts. To see the Homeland Security.
Alan, and then I'll pass it to T. Khalid. Go ahead, Alan.
Oh, Lord Jesus. This guy is everything that he claimed he wasn't going to be. It's just in every single way, whether it be foreign policy, whether it be his not wanting to support the Black community and constantly justifying his illegal drug policies from the past, and now he's reversing himself on the border wall. The sad thing is that when you look back at us as Black people, as we became liberals, what ended up happening is liberals became everything that we claimed we did not like. And it's just so ironic. That's why I was saying none of it's funny, but you got to giggle a little bit and say it's funny. It's ironic. We are just the most ironic. The Black people and the Democrats, we've become the most ironic people on the planet. It's ironic that just a couple years ago, we were there saying that Donald Trump was the biggest racist on the face of the planet for doing this. And now we have Biden in there who's proving himself to be the racist I always knew he was. And he went ahead and did this. And we've been fooled, man. And I never criticized Black people for it because they got me too. But now, unfortunately, it's too late. We've played our hand, and these policies are set in stone is thanks to Black people that they're set in stone. There's no way to reverse this at this point. We've taken it too far. Our last chance was when we were having the Democratic primary, and we could have voted, really upset the Democratic Party, and we could have voted in Bernie Sanders. And instead of doing that, we went ahead and allowed Clyburn to tell us to vote for this guy. And so now our fate is sealed in this country. There's no way to change it at this point. And maybe that's doom and gloom, but that's my opinion.
All right, T. Khalid, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I agree, man. And the thing is, Black people are to blame for what's happening, because when you're leaning on one party every single 4 years, at some point, I mean, we got to take accountability, or the people who vote for those parties have got to take accountability. It's just interesting to me that they get mad, because I'm telling you, because I live in Texas. 2016, when I was debating this border issue with Black liberals, especially Black liberals from the North, man, they are the worst. Man, they say things like, illegal immigrants ain't taking y'all jobs. They over here working the crop fields. They say stuff like that.
It's American policy. It's foreign
man,
policy.
I'm telling you, man. Man, they even said things like Black people are just too lazy to work these jobs, these low-income jobs, so we need the legal immigrants. So everything.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Yes. They was telling me that in Texas. I'm like, man, I'm in Texas. Do you know even Black liberals in Texas? All of them, and all of them say, I may not like Trump, but I agree with them on this border issue. You can talk to any African American in Texas. They will tell you they think Trump should close that wall. They hate Trump on everything else, but on that issue, he's right. And now Black folks in Chicago and New York are going through that same thing, but it's just interesting. In order for our people to learn, it's frustrating. They got to hurt. it's like there's no preventative pain in the black community. The black community gotta first go through pain in order to wake up. Otherwise, they will stay sleeping. And honestly, I think it's genius that Texas, and I believe Florida's doing it, is shipping these immigrants to these sanctuary cities. And I'll be honest with you, man, especially if you're a black person, if you're a black mayor over a city and you are declaring that city to be a sanctuary city, that's almost like traitorous to your race.
It is.
Like
Yes,
that is traitorous to your race. Because you're sitting up there knowing that all the problems going on with your own people. You instead are using those resources to take care of non-black people, inviting non-black people to your city and telling them they will be safe here. So you don't even know who you're inviting. That should be traitorous to your race. And I'm hoping all those black Chicagoans and the black folks in New York start calling out their leaders on that. Hold them accountable. And if they don't listen, get them out and say strongly, we don't want to be no sanctuary city. This ain't no handout city for all the races.
But T, how do they go about doing that without I guess how does one hold? So I kept hearing this, black folks we gonna hold Biden accountable because we saved the Democratic Party and he owes us. Like, how do you go about holding one accountable?
The only way black people can hold the Democrat Party accountable is by withdrawing their votes and being serious about it and extracting something in return from that, getting in writing or a policy made ahead of time. That is the only way. But just by Joe Biden and them saying, or the Democrats saying they are going to do something, just like they lied with Ice Cube, talk about they are going to meet him, but never did. That doesn't hold no water no more. So, for example, if we say we want reparations, there's got to be a reparations bill already passed through the House, and we already got the majority Democrats already on board to sign it, to put it on Joe Biden's desk, and Joe Biden's about to sign it. Things like that's got to happen. It can't be no more lip service. Otherwise, we don't vote for them. Otherwise, we say, okay, if y'all want this, fine. We're going to let the Republicans win, and this is going to end all this LGBT nonsense y'all are pushing, all this, aid to Ukraine that it seems like all the Democrats voted for. All that stuff is going in, all this, liberal BS that they push. We're going to end it all, because you guys are sitting up there ignoring us. So that is really the only way. Black people have to be strong about it and hold firm. They can't act like Charlemagne the God, who's this fake liberal. He's a fake independent who says he is voting for Joe Biden.
He's not independent. He's a liberal.
He's definitely a liberal, but he tries to come off as independent. But this clown says things like, I'm voting for Joe Biden because I don't want to live in a fascist country where our president doesn't accept the election results, when that's BS, because none of the Democrats accepted when Trump got elected and they launched a nonsense Russian investigation. But that's what they want black people to do. They want black people to talk like Charlemagne when the 2024 election comes and say, we got to elect Biden because we don't want to live in a fascist country, which is BS. Yeah. If black people act like that, they ain't holding no one accountable and they ain't never getting nothing.
I'm sorry. Our history has proven that we're not going to hold anybody accountable, especially the majority of black people just aren't. 80% of black men and about 90% of black women are not willing to even consider that the Democrats have not necessarily done right by us. Is, you'll have people like Roland Martin still over there making excuses. You'll have people like Charlemagne who will have a guy being racist to his face, and he has nothing to say about it. We've proven it over and over and over again. Unless we have a serious, drastic change in voting patterns, right? If we can't get at least about 20%, 30% of black people to peel off from the Democratic Party, we're just going to have the same result.
Yeah, and the thing is, they don't necessarily even have to vote Republican. In fact, they can just get some concessions out of Republicans, or just don't vote at all. But it's just this knee-jerk reaction to just vote for the Democrats. and not even give another party a chance. And I know you mentioned Bernie Sanders, which is quite interesting, a phenomenon with Black people. I am shocked that Black people did not support Bernie Sanders. That was extremely shocking to me. Like, why would they choose Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders when it seems like Bernie Sanders seems to have all the social policies that Black people talk about? And also, he talks about income, wealth gap, inequality. He talks about more police accountability and, pretty much pushing policies for the worker. And it was just shocking to me that Black folks still rode with Hillary Clinton, which shows that there's a large segment of our people who don't do their own research, who sit around and wait till the TV tells them who to vote for. They don't sit there and look at the Democrat candidates and choose. They wait to see who the Democrat front runner is, who's chosen by the system, and then they get behind that. So our people they're not doing anything revolutionary, although they like to talk revolutionary talk. None of their actions is shown to be revolutionary. This is why you never see Black people get behind a candidate who is actually a threat to the system, who the system hates. It's always these safe candidates. And it's all this talk about white supremacy and being revolutionary people. Our actions doesn't show us. So yeah, you're right, and it's sad. Maybe Black people got to hurt more, but maybe this time around with this border issue and these illegals being dumped in their backyard, they're going to wake up.
I don't see it. I don't see it. We've proven over and over again. If a man can come to a Black radio station, say the things that Joe Biden said, and people still vote for him, including yours truly, then we're lost. I'm not even excusing myself from this.
Well, and a lot of it is this, man. A lot of it is media too, man. Like, all of the Black celebrities, they're all captured, in my opinion. The majority of the Black celebrities, especially when it was time to vote, were all voting for Biden, and they were all hostile towards Black people who didn't vote for Biden. I mean, let's just look at Kanye West. But before Kanye West started talking about the three-letter word white people, when he was like, we should be independent thinking, and that's why I'm supporting Trump. You got T.I. coming out loudly against him. You got the Black folks on CNN. I believe his name was Bakari Sellers, and what's that? Don Lemon. They made a segment talking about this is what happens when Black folks can't read. I mean, extremely racist. Like I couldn't believe you got Black men attacking him like that. But yeah, pretty much all of the majority of the Black celebrity class came out and attacked them. And these things are designed to keep Black folks in place who ever think to get out of line. And we even got the Breakfast Club as a prime example. The Breakfast Club rarely brings on any Black conservatives or any Black independents. And I believe they don't like Black conservatives coming on there because they can't play that race card, as you saw with Larry Elder, where they tried to play that race card and they got demolished. So they would rather bring like a white conservative on there and then, talk about how racist white people are. So it's the Black capture media, man. And it's really media like this that Dynast is doing. Pretty much, and similar Black folks that's really going to wake Black people up, because this is the only media where you are getting like a different space. But then again, you're never going to see Dynast invited on the Breakfast Club or anyone like him. So it's all by design, man. And maybe once Black people start getting hurt and they start looking for answers and they start putting in YouTube and they run across channels like this, they start getting educated. That is the only way they are going to wake up.
Well, one thing that Dynast with this platform has done is I've been able to make a lot of changes in my ideology, because I was finally able to see what a pro-Black Pan-Africanist Republican would look like, right? And it didn't look like the people like Carlton Banks or something like that, right? It looked like somebody,
even Larry Elder too.
Right. It looked like somebody who was really down for Black people, but was willing to hold Black people accountable and do things like that. So that's one of the things I appreciate about platforms like this and Pet African Strikes Back and a few others, that you were able to see that and understand that, yes, the Black people's essential nature is more or less conservative, and that doesn't have to look like Tim Scott or somebody else that might not be as appealing.
Correct. And one thing, about the Republicans, man, because they, the only reason why I can even slightly big up the Republicans because they are going through a change. For example, Matt Gaetz voting out that Speaker McCarthy, getting him out there, that was good. And the main reason why the House was kind of held up on the shutdown is because he's trying to send more foreign aid. And he'll even work with the Democrats, Speaker McCarthy, who is a Republican, to send more aid to Ukraine. And what's interesting is that the MAGA base does not want no more aid to Ukraine. In fact, we don't want no wars. We don't want none. We want all these wars to end. So the only sliver is that the Republican Party is going through a transformation. If it was the Bush Republican Party, man, I would tell you now, Black people should not be involved in that party. That is a party to nowhere. They're more important with corporate interests and these wars. But the fact that there's a civil war going on, I think Black people can benefit. Versus if you look at the Democrats, there is no civil war. There's still one that's marching lockstep. Whatever big pharma wants, whatever these corporate interests wants, whatever the military industrial complex wants, no Democrat is deviating from it. Not even Bernie Sanders, which is shocking. He will not challenge anyone in his own party. Will never call him out. It's all Trump's fault. But when you look at the Republicans, I do like the infighting. I do like how they are calling out the rhinos, because I agree. If you're going to change the Republican Party, you got to get rid of those traitors.
Let's see here.
I think someone's going.
Go ahead, Barney.
Yeah, how y'all doing, man? I'm sorry, I came on. I was still at work, but I just want to ask a question. Because I heard y'all talking earlier about immigrants and stuff like that, and I immigrated to this country in 1980, and I was in Cleveland. I went through all kinds of bullshit with African Americans. All kinds.
Keyword illegal, brother. Illegal. Keyword.
Well, it don't matter if they're illegal or not. The way that I wasn't being treated that way because I was illegal. I was being treated that way because I came from Africa by Black people. Some of them as dark as me or even darker. So I was hearing a lot of self-hate and all that shit. I came here to this country. I worked my ass off. I got acclimated to the culture that's here. I learned about African American history and all the stuff that y'all went through. So what I'm looking for from my brothers and sisters here is to do the same thing when you go to Africa. Find out what they're going through over there. Don't assume that your problem is the top problem in the world. Africans are going through some stuff. Liberians are going through some stuff. If y'all were to go to Liberia right now, you wouldn't even be there for a week. Toilets don't flush.
I was whoa. I got to interject. I was in Liberia in 2019, and the house I stayed in, it was completely fine. So I disagree.
Of course, Dynas, that is not the majority. Of course, you were in a nice house. That's not the majority, man. Did you drive through Liberia?
I was in Monrovia. I mean,
you're in Sincar? That's the bougie area. You got to get outside of Monrovia even and see what the rest of the country is really like. That.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Now, I'm from Africa, so you're telling Black folks, look, I have no. I'm not one of these, FBA Tariq Nasheed guys who hates on immigrants. I'm not that type of person, or Africans. What I'm saying is that you're telling African Americans who have so many problems, a lot of problems with education, economics, cultural, social problems, to not focus on that and look on the map and see what's going on in Liberia, man. That's not going to happen, man. I'm being straight up honest with you. Granted, I do understand what you're saying, like some of the ignorance that, you probably experienced, the name calling from Black people. Like, I can't excuse that. But to me, that's kind of outside of what we're talking about, man. That doesn't justify a wide open border that Elon perfectly described that is open to Earth, anybody. You got people flying in from all parts of the world, flying into Mexico, coming across the border and getting dumped in the black neighborhoods. Like I don't see how that correlates. And then you're telling us to look at what's going on in Liberia. No, we gotta first fix. Let me tell you something, man. If we fix the African American issues in America, I promise you, black folks are doing much better economically, socially, culturally. I promise you, we can focus elsewhere, man. I promise you. In fact, you will have a much more intelligent black community who is intelligent politically, where we could probably lobby the United States to do something about what we are doing in Africa. Maybe it's corruption, how we open up business. But right now, the black community, man, we so separated, we can't even get along politically. Black conservatives and liberals won't even talk. You know what I'm saying? A black liberal find out a black conservative says he is called a coon, man. So no, man, I'm sorry, man. That stuff is never gonna happen unless the black community is fixed and worked on in America.
Exactly. Oh, I just wanted to say, the brother said about Liberia. Yeah, when's the last time you've been in Liberia, my brother?
The last time I was in Liberia was 2021.
Okay, I was there in 2021.
Actually, I'm sorry. It was 2022.
Okay.
And 2021.
Now, in spite of all the problems and everything like that, when I went there, I was actually really surprised at how developed it was. And I don't know where you were staying at. I was staying in Congo Town. I was staying in Congo Town.
That says it all right there, brother. Congo Town.
Okay, yeah, but the thing is, I also stayed in Robertsport. I stayed in Buchanan. You know what I'm saying? I stayed in Brewerville. I went to Brewerville. I went to Crooksville. And the bottom line is this. Liberia is not going to be America, bro.
Brother, don't gloss over it. What I'm telling you.
You go gloss over it now, but let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
Liberia, if you look at Congo Town, right? And you look at the buildings in Congo Town.
Are you from Liberia?
Yeah, I know you people say, but where's your native background? Where's your native background?
Gola and Bassa.
Okay, Gola and Bassa. What area do you come? What area do your tribe or region come from?
The Bassa people come from Buchanan. The Gola people come from Bumi.
Okay, Bumi. You're in Bumi County. Now, if you drive through Bumi County, right? You're on the grid, right? The power transmission's there. There's a nice paved road that goes all the way to Cape Mountain, whatnot. There's open land there. You can go there, right, and build housing subdivisions and everything if you had the mind to do that. You could as a black person, you can go to Liberia and any other country in Africa and purchase land and bring development and everything like that. Build your mini industrial parks, your mini commercial park, because from that highway going from Bowman over to Cape Mountain is wide open. There's no.
What about the rest of the road? What about the one going into Bowman? What about the one going into Bowman? Did you ride on that one?
Yeah, I rode on it. Yeah, I rode it. And they're paving the road. They're doing really good.
Did you ride past
I drove. Yeah.
All that it was smooth, right?
Yeah, but so look, there's always gonna be ghettos and things like that.
Hold on, one mic. Varney, there's like a lot of feedback coming from your end. Varney, there's a lot of feedback coming from your end. It's like a crackling noise. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is this though. The bottom line is this. Yes, the basic infrastructure is there in Liberia. It's just that some people have the indigenous way of life. They want to live the way of life. You just mad because you see there's something about the layer like you. Not everybody's gonna live in a 5-star house hotel. Some people, that's their way of life. They want to carry stuff on their head. They want to sell fruit. That's what they do. Show them a better way of life. Show them a better way. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed about. What you think is what?
You went on one road. You're talking about one road from Clay Junction to Cape Mountain.
So
you're not talking about the road that got you.
There was no traffic. There was no traffic. So what? There's one road. This parts of rural America. There's only one road and one road out.
Go on YouTube and just look for Liberia. Look at the videos.
See, that's what I'm saying. People go by negativity. Why don't you guys put out positive stuff about your country? All you guys do is put out negativity.
We're talking about
Well,
reality.
go back to Liberia and help build something instead of sitting on like damn your own country. I'm
I
tired
am,
of that
I
shit.
am, I am back in Liberia doing shit.
Doing what? Complaining? You
Farming.
should be over. You should be
I'm
saying,
over
look,
there
this is
farming. Did you hear me?
study what?
Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just
Study
said?
what? I know
I'm over
everybody
there
that's doing.
farming right now.
Everybody said they got a farm, right? Everybody said, oh, this
Oh, really?
person that I know they got a real
Have you
farm
seen
is
my farm?
Armstrong
Have you seen
Jabba
my
and
farm?
my brother Great African. They got a
Oh, you just
verified
told me.
farm, you know?
I got verified farm.
Okay, where's your farm at?
So
I
what are
can
you
have it
talking?
checked out. Where's your
Yeah, you
farm
can
at?
have it checked out. It's in
Where's your
Birmingham.
farm? Where is
San
your
Jan
farm?
District.
But you're
It's
just
called CB
complaining.
Village.
Hold on, you're just
It's called
complaining that
CB Village.
you're just basically complaining about the Bomi's roads and everything like that. Now you say you got a farm there.
Hey, I'm
Come on, what is
complaining
it?
about all the roads in Liberia, man.
Well, the bottom line is, what you know what you
You're
need to
not being
do?
honest.
Then why don't you guys
You're not
create
being
a
honest.
highway? Why don't you guys create a highway tax fund, all right? And, well, the business people, a municipality, start lobbying for local governments to raise your own tax bases where you're taxing goods and services, so you can raise the capital and stuff like that, raise the necessary revenue
That's
to
why.
fund
That's
your
what
own
I'm saying.
project instead of
You
waiting
need
on the
to know
government
what's
in
going on in
Nairobi.
Africa because you don't know. You need to find out
You
what's
know,
going on in Africa. You don't know.
I do know what's going
You
on.
don't know.
You know,
No, you don't. No, you don't.
so let me
It's
ask you
okay.
something.
It's
Who,
okay not to
who,
know.
who are you supporting in this next election?
Joseph Boyka.
So you're going to support a 90-year-old man who
So you're
did
gonna
one
go?
time? No,
No, no, no, no, no.
So now, if
You're
you were
asking
really
a
serious,
question, and I
if
give
you
you
were
my
really
answer.
serious, you would say Cummings. But you're
Oh,
Joseph
please.
Walcott. You said Joseph Walcott because
Cummings
he's
is
an
not gonna
indigenous
win,
man.
man.
Hold
No,
on.
Cummings is
You were
not gonna win because
now
he got
of all the
LGBT
people.
sympathies.
Things out. No, that was a lie. That was a lie put out there. That was a
No, that was the
lie.
truth.
That was a lie. That was a lie. He's not
That was the
LGBTQ.
truth.
That was a lie. That dude.
They asked him about a serious
That dude
question. And he couldn't
Obed,
answer
check
straight.
it out. That dude Obed, your boy Obed Nation, he put that lie out there and spread a comment. He brags about that it's stuck. All you guys do is sit in America, use the media to slander people and all like that, and you wait till you're not gonna do anything but get back to Liberia and start doing the same thing you accuse everybody else of doing. The fact
What
that
are you
you can
talking
take
about, man?
Boca,
You're not
you
even
think
from Liberia.
well, I know a lot about the country. Ask
You're
around.
not even from the country.
Well, ask
What are you
around.
talking about?
Ask around. Ask who I am.
Who are you?
Well, you don't know who I am by now. That's the problem. You ran up against the wrong one.
Really?
You said you were Joseph Walcott, a man 90 years old one night, who just recently said, Walcott just recently said, he doesn't win, there's not going to be no Liberia. He just said there's not going to be no Liberia. He said if he doesn't win, there's not going to be no Liberia. That old man said if he don't win, there's not going to be no Liberia.
If he stays there, there won't be a Liberia. That's true.
Well, he said that if he don't win, all hell's gonna break loose. Like, you want an old man like that?
No, man. You see, you're just making shit up. He said if is elected again, there won't be any Liberia.
Well, all I know is the bottom line is I don't like George Weah. I think he's a president.
You like Cummings
the
because
president.
he's not Americanized.
No, I'm not Cummings because I listen to his ideas. No. I listen to Cummings. See, that's the problem. I listen to a man's ideas, not his background. I don't care about your background. I look at your ideas.
People care about the background in Liberia.
I know that. That's why you're backwards. A backward country. And you guys, you live in a country. You talk about Black America, right? You have the nerve to come on here, right? The bottom line, you live in a country of America, right? And you're practicing tribalism in Africa. You're a hypocrite.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about
right now.
Okay.
You practicing tribalism on me right now.
What?
This is shit I'm talking about. Ignorance. In Liberia, you don't understand the problem of Liberia. You just running off
the problem is that you said you only support Buckeye because he was Samuel Doe's boy and he's an indigenous background. That's all you care about. You got your indigenous man, George Weah.
Say that again.
You got your indigenous man. That's George Weah.
What?
You got your indigenous man, George Williams.
Okay.
You don't understand nothing about Liberia. You don't understand nothing about Liberia, man.
Let's pass the mic. Let's pass the mic.
Yeah, you don't understand shit about Liberia,
Let's
man.
pass the mic. A king within one. Unmute yourself. King within one. Unmute yourself.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
Man, y'all be calling all these Obama phones. It's like, is there a fan in the background? Are you knocking on something? I can barely hear you, but go ahead.
That's probably my AC. Hold on, let me turn it down. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead. We'll work with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to respond to the fella that said that black people didn't back Bernie Sanders. There actually was a lot of black people that backed Bernie Sanders, but the way the Democratic Party is set up, the establishment gets to pick who they actually back, and they decided to back Hillary Clinton, of course. Just like the last election, Bernie Sanders ran against Biden, and Jim Clyburn helped them pick Biden instead of Bernie Sanders. But a lot of people was going for Bernie Sanders, and the Democratic Party they don't really roll with Bernie Sanders because he's not a real Democrat. He's a progressive. So yeah, they knocked him out the bottom. That's all I had to say.
The problem, yeah, but man, see, when you say Jim Clyburn jumped in and stopped it, so are we saying that Jim? Here's what I'm saying, man. So if we was already awakened to all the nonsense of the Democrat Party, especially the black folks backing Bernie Sanders, how in the world can Jim Clyburn jump in and change those black folks' mind? We already know he is a part of the establishment.
Right. Well, what happened is he's been there for a long time. He has a lot of backing. So when they got to South Carolina and Biden won South Carolina, they swung the vote for Biden over Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders was killing him. But once he won South Carolina, it switched the vote because that was one of the states that Bernie was dependent on to actually win the general election. I mean the regular election. So that's what happened there. Go ahead.
Well, here's what I got, because I'm be honest with you, I know Bernie did have some black people support him. I didn't see a lot. There could, maybe there could be a statistical evaluation, to see. But the thing is this, man, with Bernie Sanders, and I'd ask you a question, because just to see how quickly he folded when he lost and, went right back into the arms of Hillary Clinton, and instead of, saying, what, the Democrats and the Republicans are corrupt, the same way did was like both, attacking his own party and the Democrats. Seems like Bernie Sanders fell in line, got cheated, fell in line, and then had the nerve to even hold a rally for Hillary. So my thing is like, wolf in sheep's clothing.
There's a reason why he did that. The reason why he did that is because once you run in that election like that, if you don't win, you get a chance to write and control the laws that they put forward first. For example, when Jesse Jackson ran for president back in '84, he lost, but he wrote ended up writing a lot of the laws that we see today. Changed a lot of the way that the Democratic Party ran and everything. So that is the reason why he did what he did.
Man, you really think Bernie Sanders is making a change? Bernie Sanders is doing nothing but going along with the status quo. I haven't seen him do anything that's outside of what's already happening. I mean, let's just look at this Ukraine situation. Why is he still pushing more aid to Ukraine? Does he not understand that and even cluster bombs going to Ukraine? Does he not understand that things like this is worsening the United States and Russia relationship and can possibly bring us close to a nuclear war? Like, it seems like he's a war hawk. He doesn't seem like he's anti-war. Like, I don't understand the Bernie craze. I mean, I get it, but he just comes off as weak, and he doesn't fight for Ukraine.
This is what I'm saying. When you're talking about the Russia situation, that's bipartisan. That's not just Democrat or Republican. That's bipartisan.
I agree, but Bernie should be on the right side of history. It seems like he's just taking every status quo point. But go.
he actually is on the right side of history, right? They wanted to surround Russia with military bases, and that's American policy. It's been that way since
brother,
the 80s.
did you listen to Bernie? Bernie
That's American policy.
on the second run, being attacked by the Democrats. The Democrats said, it was being said on the media that Russians are having an involvement in the Bernie campaign, or something to that line. And then here comes Bernie. Instead of calling it BS, like Trump saying this is fake news, he's going to put out a statement. Russia, we don't want your involvement in our campaign. It's like he goes with the status quo, man. He is not a fighter, and when you roll over that quickly, no one's going to support you. That's why all of his supporters was pissed at him, because he rolled over twice. He rolled over for Hillary, he rolled over for Biden, and he's still pushing his supporters to vote for them instead of calling them out, calling how corrupted they are, and fighting against them. And it's the same thing with the squad. Why do you think the progressive squad is hated? Because they fight for nothing. This is why. I hear what you're saying. I just feel like, brother, Bernie's a clown to me, man. He apologizes and rolls over.
Well, you're correct. You're correct about a lot of that, but that's what I'm saying. When it comes to that, once you're in politics, you don't just get to do what you want to do.
We understand that, but you got to fight and wake people up, man. You see how Trump fought. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
The grassroots know exactly what's going on, right? But you know what I'm saying? There's only so much you can do, right? Which is why a lot of people like Dynas, you know what I'm saying, and are trying to help people, become financially literate. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's not going to help us overnight. It probably ain't really going to help us too much at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got Kala, you know what I'm saying, talking about black nationalism, right? So I mean, there's we in the belly of the beast, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you can say what you want, but when you get in that office and them people put the heat on you, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's what I can say about that, man. And it's the same criticism I had towards Obama, that black people say, if you're going to get in office and you're going to be scared to fight, just don't run. The one thing that people, like I said, the reason why Trump is still admired, and he was very flawed, trust me, I have a lot of problems with Trump. But because he still fought. He still talked his noise. He went after the right people, called the CIA corrupt, called the FBI corrupt, was criticizing the United States foreign policy, woke people up about the mainstream media. I've seen black people pay attention to what's going on in the House and in the Senate, and actually cared about who their senator was or who their congressman was. They even cared about who is in the Supreme Court. A lot of people didn't even know what was going on in Congress. Didn't even know what the House was, the three different legislative branches. But because the stakes were so high under Trump and he was disrupting all that, people had to care. Black people had to care about politics because of how much they hated him. They educated themselves about politics. I don't think that would have happened under Bernie Sanders' run. Because Bernie Sanders caves all the daggone time, fights for nothing, refuses to call his party out on everything. I think we would have been sleeping in, it would have been status quo as usual, in my opinion.
Well, historically, we've always known about and been involved in politics, right? I'm sure, I'm 50 years old, so I don't know how old you guys are. But if you're my age, you know that your grandparents and great-grandparents, you know what I'm saying, they was at them polls, you know what I'm saying? They knew what was going on and how to get it done. But, you know what I'm saying, come the 80s, with the crack epidemic and all of that, you lost a lot of, we lost a lot of connection between our grandparents and our, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And, a lot of you start having babies and, wasn't nobody paying attention to none of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest. The black community just now started bouncing back. We just started talking about financial literacy and entrepreneurship as a whole. You know what I'm saying? If you go back 10 years, 20 years, it wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? On a very small level maybe, but you ain't hear about that. We was taught get a job, retire and draw Social Security. You know what I'm saying? That's what we was taught. You know, so you know what I'm saying. We are behind. You know what I'm saying? But I see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is,
moving forward.
well, no, I agree with you on that with the financial literacy, but the thing about politics, especially politics, I honestly think the reason why Black people's talking more about it is due to Trump and the hatred of the media by Trump. Black people hated Trump so much that they actually did research, and unfortunately, that's what it takes. You can't if you have the Black people, if we are comfortable, if we get a Biden, just like now, we got a Biden presidency. Just like now, Obama, Black people will go to sleep. You've got to put someone in there who is going to piss them off. But then while they're pissed, they start researching and then they start getting more educated politically. And then they start waking up and say, wait a minute, this stuff ain't adding up. Wait a minute, we over here voting for you. We ain't getting nothing in return. You under Trump. I'm seeing Black folks talking about withhold your vote. All these Black movements like if you don't give us no tangibles, no vote. Like a lot of things happen. I'm not saying Trump inspired that. I'm saying the anger and then more Black people's becoming more intelligent about what's going on politically. And to be honest, that's a net negative for Democrats, in my opinion, because a more stupid Black community you have than a more subservient community you have who's never going to look at anything. But you get someone in like Trump, but they don't like that Black people are waking up. Even though we're upset, we're still educating ourselves. So man, unfortunately, we need someone who's not going to be tepid and timid and weak. No, you got to go in and you got to talk noise and make a lot of ruckus.
Trump. I thought I hate to say it, man, but I always say that Trump was the best thing to happen to Black folks because once they signed the civil rights bills and all that, we got comfortable. And we sit down and went on about our business while the world moved on without us. Now, 60 years later, 50 years later, here we are waking up going, hey, we going backwards. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one of the things I hate to say. They were talking about welfare earlier. I hate to say I want to see it go, right? Because some people really need it. Some people, not everybody sell their cars and all of that crap. Some people actually use it to feed their kids. But, as long as you're comfortable, me and my brother had the same conversation. He was like, well, what about the elders? The elders, they need us. We need to start moving these elders in our house. Okay. and we need to learn how to start living with each other like everybody else. Okay. You see these immigrants come over here and they all moving. They eat and they ride nice cars. They putting away money. Way money, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to, in order for us to move forward in any kind of capacity, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have to start doing things a different way. We're gonna have to start learning how to work together, live together,
Yeah. Thank you, Diners, for having me, and greetings to everyone on the panel and to the chat and to the viewers. I think I agree with the other speaker that was saying that Bernie Sanders appears to be. They are too quick to back down, and what they tend to do. Even the Democrats are the same. And whenever the Republicans are after something, they go for it. But the Democrats, they'll pretend as if they are fighting and then they just give in. On the side of the Republican, they tend to be generally more for their people, which is, from the point of view of the Republicans, more for white people. So you can see why the Democrats will back down, because most of them too are white. They don't want to fight them with all their might. Look at what happened with George Floyd. There is not one bill, even if Cory Booker, if I'm not mistaken, was the one heading the committee that was supposed to be looking to pass the law. The whole thing completely failed. They don't do anything for their people because in the end, they are serving the interests of their own people, the white people in that country. And that's something that African Americans need to pay attention to. That's why they give in. That's why it's so quick for them to fold for the Republicans, because the Republicans are overtly more, they are supporters, I mean, not necessarily their leader, they are overtly more on the side of white people than this in terms of multiculturalism or immigration. If you look at the Republican Party, they tend to, the supporters, I mean, they tend to be more anti-immigrant than the Democrats. But if you look at the parties, the way they behave, they are all pro-immigrants. Because Republicans, they open the door for immigrants to come in, just like under Trump. And the same thing happens with the Democrats too. So the elites, they have their own agenda, and the people should also have their own agenda. For black people, they should be asking, I think somebody said earlier on, they should be asking, what are you going to do for me? And something concrete, no funny business. If you're not going to do it for me, that's the end. You're going to be penalized in the next time you come and ask for a vote. Like, I don't know what what's his name, Biden has done for the community. Has he done anything concrete for the community that compared to what he has done for even Asians and the general so-called American public? No, I don't see anything he has done. I really don't. The only thing you can say maybe the Democrats have done is that if you look at the black politicians or the black people in institutions, they tend to come through the Democrats than the Republicans. Like when Obama was in office, the appeal court judges he appointed, he had at least 15 or so black people in there, or maybe even more. And but the Trump barely had any. So you can see the emergence of black people within the hierarchy of American society is generally tilted towards the work of the Democrats. And who knows, the so-called defense secretary, the defense secretary we have right now may also be a part of the work of the Democrats. And that's something that black people, maybe they don't overtly know it, but somewhere along the line, they do pick up on the fact that these people are advancing some black officials, not businesses. I don't know, not strategic stuff. I don't see it in that sense. But from what I've been saying from the beginning, since I started coming online, I feel like within America, there's a little bit of a confusion within the community since the 60s. There's a little bit of, they don't necessarily know the direction they want to go with America. Some want to assimilate, while others want to exact their independence and freedom. And I think they want, those two camps have to realize that they both want the best for their people, and whatever happens, they have to fall in line.
Is your mic on now?
Pardon?
No, he sounds fine to me.
Okay, then that's me. Never mind.
Yeah, so they both have to fall in line along for something for the black community, because I'm getting tired of just watching from the sidelines, and anything they want to do for the black community always falls through. Anything. I don't know one thing. Can somebody tell me any bill they want to pass that favors the black community and it goes through? Even police reform, they can't even be bothered to do that, just because they feel like, oh, it's going to favor only the black community, so why should you even bother to do that? I don't know. So I think that confusion within the community in America, it needs to be resolved so that they can both sides know where they stand. Because if you look at the Jewish community, they don't play around. If you go and screw around with their community, it doesn't matter whether they're left-leaning or right-leaning or corporatist or whatever. They will come together and wreck your life. That's what they do.
True. That's very true. And there's a stark difference between the black community and the Jewish community. See, the Jewish community doesn't allow politicians to come to them and dance and put yarmulkes on their head or do symbolism and talk about how pretty their outfits look. The black community does that. And the Jewish community also holds representatives accountable. So if there's a politician who says, I don't support Israel, or I'm not going to give no aid to Israel, their people aren't supporting them. You know, they're not going to play that lip service game. See, black people, on the other hand, we got these politicians who say they're going to do all these police reforms, all these reforms, and get in and do absolutely nothing. And then we won't say a word about it. We won't hold them accountable. In fact, we will vote them right back into office. And, you know, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about now with the immigration thing with Chicago. Like, how do we go from Lori Lightfoot to this other clown who is worse than Lori Lightfoot? You know, so one has to examine, like, what is going on with the African American politically, where they cannot analyze candidates, or I mean, it's almost as if they're just voting because it's their civic duty, but they don't even know what the heck they're voting for, and then they're complaining about it. So that's the difference, I think, with the Black community and the Jewish community. The Jewish community actually knows what they're voting for. They are involved politically. They actually put their money towards the politicians that they want to vote for, and they don't play that pandering game. You know, until Black people stop playing these stupid games, pandering and going on the having Kamala Harris go on the Breakfast Club and talk about how she smoked weed and listened to Tupac when Tupac wasn't even rapping, and joking around, and we just accept it. This is why our community gets ignored.
I gotta do well for you. I gotta do well for you. She said her most prized she said her most prized possession in college was her bootleg Too Short tape.
You see, you only say that to a community who you know aren't serious, man. Like that, it's crazy because you know what I'm saying. You know who's laughing?
To listen to.
But I bet you other groups laugh. It's like, why do the Black community? I mean, it's just insane. Like the stuff we put up with politically, it's embarrassing, man. But that's what it is. You know, when it comes to the Black community, it's all hee hee ha. Everyone's playing games, or this stupid symbolism where we got the first Black gay trans person in this position. Who cares? Who cares? That does nothing to Black people.
Why we don't even have the luxury for that? What do you have luxury for worrying about LGBT stuff when the community is all over the place? And if in almost every metric you measure in the country, they are always behind. You know, and you are having time for showing of social trends and stuff like that. We don't have time for that. We are facing an existential crisis. A people amounting to about 1.3 billion people on the face of this earth. Nobody talks on their behalf. Their leaders they have no spine. They go around selling to the highest bidder. Do you know this Black group that the African Americans are from, the Brazilians are from? We number about 1.3 billion, and this stuff affects the continent too. Nobody is speaking on their behalf. All these leaders go around selling out, and you are worrying about LGBT. We don't control anything. We don't. Why should you even bother about immigration? You should be worrying about acquiring power, acquiring influence, defending your interests only, because that's what other people are doing. They just keep doing it repeatedly. Look at it. Look at what happened with this George Floyd. And this President Biden came to office saying, we're going to do something about it. We're going to nothing, not even one. Then he went on to pass the Asian bill. It's ridiculous. The kind of stuff we put up with, it doesn't even make sense. And the young generation and people that are aware of this, they have to understand that we have a stake in this world. We have a massive population that has nobody speaking on their behalf. And African Americans are some of the most gifted, and because of proximity to power, they are opportuned to be able to take charge. But nothing is coming from them on the continent. Yesterday, I just saw a video of our national security advisor basically begging Europeans to come and help us save ourselves. He literally said, free us. We want freedom for our people. We want to live like other people. It's like, this is national security advisor of a country of about 200 million people talking like that.
You know, Tanaja, you know, you right about that with American and Africa. Because like I made the point before, if the African-American community was much wiser, there would probably be a lot more advocates pushing for any type of social or economic reform for the positive of Africa, similar to how Jews push for anything positive that America can do for Israel. Like America supports Israel 100%. And the Jews are lockstep on that. But you got to understand, the African-American community can't even like name a couple of countries in Africa. And also, you can also tell that they don't understand what's going on in Africa is when Gaddafi under Obama, when Libya was destroyed, you got to think about it. I don't even think Black people even cared, to be honest with you. There was no anger like, you know, hey, brother, why would you go in and destroy another Black country?
They were blaming Gaddafi for it.
Yeah. Like blaming Gaddafi for it. Like, you know, I'm like, Black people, they didn't even talk about it. They didn't even care, to be honest with you. All they care about was a Black president.
I'm becoming very paranoid because even after the First World War, when they founded the League of Nations, South Africa was present there, Ethiopia was there, and sprinkled around other European countries. Recently, the BRICS organization South Africa is there. Now they chose Ethiopia. Do you know the groups, the core groups that they keep isolating? Our group. Every time, nobody's talking for that 1.3 billion people. And I'm beginning to find that this is partly why we are always in trouble. Whenever they pretend as if they want to go and help us, like even in America, you see some of the people that they help are the ones that look closely like mixed as possible. The core groups are being isolated. They don't stand for anything and nobody is recognizing it. And this, for me, this is a problem because it's going to lead to instability in the world sooner or later. Because you can't have a people that we are one of the we are the fourth great race in the world where that number's over 1 billion. The others have a lot of power. The Europeans, they have NATO. The Asians have China, and all the other. The Indians have India.
Hey guys, let me. I want to play this video real quick, and we're gonna close out. I want you guys to listen to Kamala Harris, and then we'll close out.
Say welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first ever hip hop house party at the office of the Vice President of the United States. And welcome also, of course, to the members of our administration, including Secretary Miguel Cardona, who's here, and all the elected officials, including members of the United States Congress, so many of whom have been long-standing champions of hip-hop. I want to welcome Governor Wes Moore, who is here, and to all the industry leaders and artists, welcome to our home. So I don't need to tell anybody here, but hip-hop is the ultimate American art form. Come on, come on. Born at a back-to-school party in the Bronx, raised on the streets of Philadelphia, Chicago, Oakland.
KRS-One.
Hip-hop now shapes nearly every aspect of America's popular culture. And it reflects the incredible diversity and ingenuity of the American people. It combines rhythms from the continent of Africa, from the Caribbean, from Latin America, with the sounds of soul and gospel and R&B and funk to create something entirely new. And to be clear, hip-hop culture is America's culture. It is a genre. It is music and melody and rhyme. And hip-hop is also an ethos of strength and self-determination, of ambition and aspiration, of pride, power, and purpose. Hip-hop is a declaration of identity. It says, I love who I am, I represent where I come from, and I know where I'm going. And I will tell you, as a daughter of Oakland, California, hip hop has been a part of my life since its very beginning. From growing up, knowing every word to Rapper's Delight.
You know she don't know got every word to goddamn Rapper's Delight.
Well, you gotta understand, man.
See, how you know that?
Come on, bro. Okay,
Come
let
on,
her
man.
finish. Let her finish. Let her finish. Hold on, I'm gonna let her finish. Hold on, I'm gonna let her finish. Hold on.
To being in high school, when my best friend from kindergarten, Stacy Johnson, who is here, would pick me up in her father's black Cadillac Coupe de Ville, there she is, to drive to a club in the city where the DJ played and we danced until we needed to take off our shoes. A few years later, I arrived here in DC at Howard University. And among my most prized possessions were my bootleg Too Short tapes.
Oh God.
Come on, Diners.
Come on,
This
man.
only works on a low IQ, man.
I think I want to say Too Short only had one album when she was in college.
What was out? Cool in the Game?
I want to say Too Short only had one album.
When was she in college?
Maybe.
When was she?
Oh man.
Yeah, hip hop is what she comes
Man,
to
y'all
sell.
get off of Kamala, man.
She said Too Short bootleg.
That's our AKA sister.
She said tapes, bruh.
Come on, Diners. That's our AKA sister, man. We doing that to her, man. Come on, Diners.
But y'all can kind of
What has
see.
she done?
That's our divine nine now, Diners.
No, so because hip hop was great, so what? How is that giving us anything? I don't subscribe to that.
But that's how you get the black vote.
Yeah, she's
Oh
trying
man,
to
that's disgusting.
convince
Man,
them.
she getting that black vote.
That's what politicians
Bro,
do.
she said when she was at Howard University, her most prized possession was her Too Short bootleg tape.
Yeah, which is
It's an insult.
I
It's
don't
an
believe
insult.
that at all, man.
Actually, it's an insult because she comes around and giving us platitude about hip hop and hip hop tips, and we are supposed to. I don't know, man. If I was African American, that I would use that and turn it on her because it's an insult.
No,
Other people come go to their community and talk about what they've done for their people, and you come here and start talking about hip hop. What do I care about hip hop?
You have to understand too the reason why they're talking about hip hop too and appraising, because hip hop right now is trash. The modern day hip hop is trash. It's Sexy Red. And there's black men talking about making a lot of money either doing criminal activities or killing each other. It's trash. But you have to do that because you got to dumb down the black community, especially for the Democrats. When you have an intelligent black community, you have to come at black people in an intelligent manner. Versus if you want, but the thing is, it's better to lead people when they're emotional instead of logical. So you don't want to trigger black people's logic. You want to keep them on the lowest form. So you want to talk about hip hop and sports and everything, because that makes sure that the black community doesn't think they can never challenge you. They can never ask you any critical questions, and they can never get anything tangible. So Kamala Harris is always going to do that. And this is why they're going to interview celebrities. I'm telling you, Snoop Dogg is going to probably get interviewed before the election. Hell, Sexy Red maybe. No, well, never mind, because she supports Trump. She ain't getting interviewed. But
This
Cardi
has been
B,
happening since Bill Clinton. They just pander and they don't do anything. Just pandering and pandering to the lowest denomination. What have you done for the community?
Look at black people's response.
Account for that.
But look at the response in the crowd. They're like cheering. They're like, yeah. See, that's the problem with black people. They're too emotional. Black people want to relate to the politician versus like, for example, if they like fried chicken and watermelon, that's what black people want to relate to. Oh, she like fried chicken and watermelon. Oh, man, she black, man. I'll vote for her. It's so stupid. It has nothing to do with their policies. They don't even know what she represents. So yeah, bro, listen to the audience. They're cheering it on at them retarded. They see no problem with it.
If I was Republican, I will make an advert with this and say, look at, she's here pandering to your music and hip hop culture. What has she actually done for the community? Actually suggest things that are tangible.
That's where the Republicans fell at, man.
And I'm gonna close out, and then they're gonna call the Republican Party racist for doing that. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty, search for Huru. Peace.